Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back here today to talk about kind of like a health update. I thought it would be interesting to kind of update you guys on what's been going on. Last summer I filmed a bunch of videos talking all about my gut health and how I figured out that I had leaky gut as well as Candida, and how I worked through all this different stuff to try to remedy that. And it was really tough, and it was really scary for me because I felt like I would never feel great again. And I've gotten to a point now where I can say that I'm definitely on the path to like making a full recovery. I feel like my stomach is stronger than it's been in my whole life perhaps, and other health things that have come up that I thought I would maybe discuss with you guys. I'm not wearing any makeup right now, so I also want to talk about my skin a little bit. But the first thing I really need to talk about is my ear, which is a totally different thing. That's sort of not as serious, I don't think, but basically over the last couple of months I've been developing these abscesses inside of my ears, and they're extremely painful, and basically they're just like infections that leak a bunch of like gooey grossness and cause me a lot of pain and anxiety because like that's not normal. And I've been kind of dealing with that by not dealing with it, if you know what I mean. They were healing well on their own until I got the one on my right ear, and I've had this for probably over a week now. Yeah, well over a week now, almost 2 weeks, and it's gotten progressively worse to the point that I actually can't hear out of my ear right now. So I went to the doctor on Friday, today's Sunday, I went again today, and I'm now on antibiotics because apparently the abscess is so big that it's like blocking my whole ear canal. That's really pleasant. Ideally I wouldn't be on antibiotics, but the pain is so intense, and the fact that I can't really hear is a little alarming. So this is how I'm dealing with it right now, but I'm also trying to balance taking antibiotics by taking probiotics. Right now I'm drinking a big kombucha, and this always helps me. I'm also going to eat a lot of sauerkraut, and because I have such a sensitive like system and stomach and everything like that, I have to be really careful with taking antibiotics, as like most people really should be careful when taking them. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm dealing with now. Hopefully nothing super serious. I was feeling like maybe I had like ruptured my eardrum or something like that. Like the pain is that intense, but it doesn't look like that's the case, which is amazing. So moving on to my gut health as of today, I honestly can say that everything that I've done over the last year has really made a huge difference, and I've done a couple videos talking about my gut health and how I've been eating an SCD kind of diet, which is a specific carbohydrate diet. After about like 4 or 5 months or 6 months, I don't even remember, I started eating sweet potato, and slowly I've kind of reintegrated things in, but for the most part I stick to that diet pretty strictly. I would say 90-95% of the time. I will treat myself with, say, alcohol occasionally, or I'll treat myself with corn chips occasionally, but for the most part I eat at home, and I eat this specific way, and then maybe once a week I'll have like kind of like a cheat meal, like sushi for instance, which is a food that I absolutely love, but that beforehand my stomach was just like not digesting at all, and so I've been treating myself with that. The crazy thing is that I now find like my digestion with like things that I'm not supposed to eat or whatever has gotten a lot better, to the point that like I can eat sushi, and instead of eating like maybe 3 rolls, which is what I would do before, I'll eat like 1 roll and then like a salad and like an edamame and stuff like that that don't irritate my stomach, and I feel pretty much 100% fine. The other thing I've been doing every night without fail is apple cider vinegar. This is something that I've heard a lot about. It also has a probiotic in it, but you want to make sure that you get the one with the mother. I use the Bragg's brand, and it's awesome. I'm pretty sure you can get it like anywhere. And all I do is I put 2 kind of capfuls into my water every night before I go to bed, and I drink that, and that helps just with digestion overnight. I will say, if you've never done that before, start with like 1 teaspoon or like 1 capful of apple cider vinegar, because it's quite strong. And I do remember like the first or second or few times I did it, I felt quite nauseous after taking it with water. Now I'm totally used to it. I can do like 2-3 capfuls and I don't even really care. It doesn't really taste like much to me. But that's just a fair warning, because it is quite a strong pungent flavor and smell. Just something to like keep in mind if you've never done it before. The other thing I do daily is lemon water, which I do every morning. I have a big mason jar full of just half a lemon and water, and I drink this before I do anything else, and I feel more like satisfied hydration wise. I don't really know how to explain it, but the other thing is that it reduces bloating and sweets cravings, and I have like the most insane sweet tooth. Like if I crave sweets, your girl's gotta have sweets or murders will be committed. Like it is terrifying. I was just with my sister in New York, if you guys follow me on Instagram, and she was having lemon water with me every day, and she was like, oh my god, like I'm not bloated. I'm like, it's so simple, but it really, really works, and it really does like change your body in a really great way. So that's another thing I've been doing. The last thing I want to talk about too with regards to my health is my IUD, which I got put in last June, so June of 2017. Basically, my nutritionist is also a very close family friend of ours, and she kind of said to me, look, like your system is sensitive, your stomach is sensitive, your digestion is super sensitive, so you're putting in these pills every day that are really fucking up your hormones essentially, and it's too strong for your body. And I've really struggled with birth control. Like I think I talked about this in other videos. I always felt like that roller coaster every month, and I never felt really like that was me. I just felt like that was my hormones and my birth control. So when I decided to get an IUD, it was partially because I thought this will really help my stomach, my bloating, but like also my period symptoms, my cramps, my bleeding, everything like that. I have to say it's probably been one of the best decisions I've ever made in my adult life, and along with like the eating and the diet change and everything like that, it has been a total game changer for me, and I would recommend it to anyone who is in need of birth control. Look up everything you can, read about it. I have something called Marvelon, and I think that's what it's called. Hopefully that's right. And the procedure was basically painless. I hardly felt it. And then I've done some videos on it, so I'll link those down below as well. But basically when I first got it in, it was pretty much like I had my period for a month and a half. I had constant bloating, constant pain, constant bleeding, and that was awful, obviously. And then when I talked to the doctor on the phone, and she told me, okay, wait till the end of the week, I waited, and by the end of the week my symptoms had completely cleared up. No bloating, no bleeding, nothing. And since that day I have not had a period. That's amazing. I know that for myself, when I first was learning about this stuff, I thought that sounded awful and like really, really, really scary, because for me, knowing that I have a period every month is also like, okay, I'm not pregnant. Also, it's like, oh, I'm a functioning, healthy woman. As like also a vegan, people tell you all these scary things like, oh, you're vitamin B deficient, you're not gonna be able to get pregnant, you're not gonna be able to have kids, like you're fucking up your body. So for me, every month having my period, as much as it is a pain in the fucking ass, which it is, kind of reminded me like, okay, I'm on the right track, I'm doing okay, my health is good. But when I started changing my diet and everything like that, and I felt so much more healthy already as it is, I kind of was like, I'm like playing into the system by like not giving myself the best chance of being like a happy, healthy, functioning adult essentially. So yeah, I love it. I don't get any period symptoms, I don't get cramps, I don't get bleeding, I don't get anything. I've been through like a full metamorphosis from like what I was a year ago, eating shit that I shouldn't be eating, like a shit ton of sugar, to now I don't eat any sugar. I feel like for me that's like one of the biggest things that has changed my health and my stomach health especially. And I also feel like when I eat this way and when I take care of my body this way, that I'm a better functioning human being. This ear thing is a totally another story, and like it kind of frustrates me because I'm like, I should literally be superhuman with like the way I eat and how I take care of my body and how I exercise and how I do all this stuff. I should be like so fucking like, I don't know, unbreakable basically. But the reality is like there's life stressors, and I have been really stressed the last couple months, which yeah, that's a whole nother story, and that's the only reason why I can think that I have this like abscess in my ear. So that's pretty much a health update. I know it's like super long and everything like that, but it's crazy to me, like people have never heard of leaky gut, people have never heard of Candida, and like a lot of people have Candida. I would say like most people have Candida and don't even know they have it. So hopefully like me talking about it and sharing my stories, like I had IBS like for most of my life, and I didn't even do anything about it. Like I didn't even think that I needed to do anything about it. And it wasn't until I went to a nutritionist that I realized that like I'm putting things into my body that my body is literally rejecting. But like I said, majority of the time I'm eating really, really healthy and taking really good care of myself, but also like enjoying what I eat. Like I love to cook and I love to eat, and I don't feel like changing the way I've eaten like so drastically. Like to most people, they would look at this and be like, oh, like I'm just gonna eat lettuce, like that's awful. But for me, it's like, okay, obviously this is a challenge, but I can make this so delicious. And I feel like I eat so well. Like I love the food that I eat. And like some of my favorite foods, I love like a white sweet potato. That's like my favorite carb. Like it's so good. White sweet potato, tahini on the sweet potato. Please do it for yourself. It's delicious. Tofu, lots of greens, tons and tons and tons of greens. Kombucha. By watching this whole like series of videos that I've posted and showed you guys kind of my gut health and everything like that, you will get inspired to maybe take control of your life a little bit, because it can be really, really, really discouraging. And I remember like I would have such bad stomach aches and I would be literally on the toilet like 5 times a day, and I'd be like, wow, this is like a great way to live your life, like this is awesome. But I didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to do something about it, so I really took my health into my own hands. I'm still obviously recovering and still healing my gut, but like for the most part it's amazing. Like my eczema is almost non-existent. That is insane to me, because I remember filming last year and like hiding my hands because I was so embarrassed of how bad they were. Like it is just night and day, as well as my skin. So my skin has also changed a lot. I would say I have like oily combination, dry, like very combination skin, very acne prone. But I've been really taking care of my skin, and like I really try not to wear makeup a lot of the time because I like to let my skin breathe. And I have also been working on Project No Pick, which if you guys have been watching my videos the last couple months, it's been really hard for me not to pick at my skin. Like as a perfectionist, it's been really hard for me not to just like go in there and start going crazy. But I've been really working on just like not looking at it super close up and just kind of leaving it. And I feel like my skin is responding really well. I mean, obviously I have some redness over here and a few like scars over here, but like my forehead looks really good. Like I have a little pimple there too, but yeah, amazing. Like I never thought that like just changing the way I eat and then these few other things that I've been doing would change my life to this extent. So if you guys want to check out more videos on Candida and leaky gut, I'll put down my videos in the description box that I've done on this kind of topic, as well as my IUD story, as well as my birth control videos. You guys can kind of follow along the journey, and that's kind of why I love YouTube, and I call it my like diary, because I get to share with you guys like these big monumental moments for myself where I'm like, oh my god, like look, this is working and I feel great. But I also get to show you guys the lows, and you can kind of see the progress from like me feeling really shitty and being bloated and being in pain all the time to like feeling really good and like empowered by my diet and taking control of my body. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!